Hello, good people. As I promised to update you on the progress of my goat kids that were born 3 months ago, here I am, taking care of them in the free range. They're grazing outside here on free range, and I've tethered them. I am not taking care of them like that because I cannot manage to do that alone. They will run away, some will go to people's farms. This is how we take care of them on free range. Sometimes we tether them, sometimes we graze them. So these three kids were born on the same day. So this one was born single, but mother is called Sophia, the one sitting with. The other two were born twins by the black crossbreed goat. When you look at this kid eating with the mother, you will see that the skin hair is not smooth. That's a sign of a womb load. So all goats are due for deworming. So this is the last born in the farm. It was born on 20th of January. So out of the 6 kids, we managed to get 2 females and 4 males, bucklings. All these goats were born in 2 months apart. And that happened because I practiced what is called natural synchronization. Natural synchronization is the practice where you breed your goats around the same time so that they can kid around the same time. And that one helps you with management issues, health, nutrition, because you can budget and plan accordingly. So interestingly, as big as they are, these goat kids are still breastfeeding. And your guess is as good as mine why they are still breastfeeding. So something funny with the goat kids, just like human being, you cannot easily stop them from breastfeeding. If you don't find a way of stopping them from breastfeeding, they can breastfeed up to 3 months. But that is bad for business, especially if you are someone who is keen on multiplying their flock very fast. You need to start weaning the goat from week 8, that is 2 months. This multicolored buckling is the last born in the farm. This one was born on 20th of January. So as you can see, these are goats that are mature enough to survive on their own without the mother's milk. As you can see, they are grazing on the same field with their mothers. And they don't disturb the mothers with sucking them because they can now survive on their own without milk. That's why they are eating everything. They eat plant forages, grass, everything. As a farmer keen on multiplying my flock very fast, I start weaning my goats once they are 8 weeks old. That is 2 months. By that time, I start training them how to eat, which we call creep feeding. That way, I teach them how to eat on their own without depending exclusively on the mother's milk. By the time these goat kids turn 3 months old in my farm, they have already forgotten about the mother's milk because that time they are already feeding on their own, they look for food on their own. Remember, these goats only start grazing with their mothers once they are 1 month old. Yes, so during that time, they stay at home while the parents go out in the field to eat. And the next time they get the opportunity to breastfeed, it's around midday, late noon, around 2 p.m. when their mothers are brought back home so that they can breastfeed. Then the next time they'll breastfeed is in the evening when the goats return home. So basically, they only join their parents in the field once they are 2 months old. And this is how I do it. So because the period of 2 to 3 months old, these kids are still breastfeeding, what I do when their mothers and other goats are taken to the grazing field around 11 a.m., I lock them inside the pen because when they go with their mothers to the field, they may not give them time to feed well. They will be disturbing them with breastfeeding each and every time. So I lock them inside the pen. When the rest of the goats are leaving for grazing, then after 3 hours, that's around 2 p.m., that is when I release them to join other goats in the field to graze alongside as they are currently doing. So basically that one enables us to or not only give their mothers adequate time to feed, but also to prepare them for a life without their mothers. And that is why you can see them grazing together with their mothers in the same field, and they don't even bother their mothers with breastfeeding as if their life depends on it. Because as you can see, they don't seem like their life depends on the milk. They are eating on their own. They are eating grass, as you can see. They are eating blackjack. They are eating the remnants of the green collards. They are eating everything, the caliandra. So that is how they do it on free range. So this place where they're grazing is where I planted the green collards sukuma wiki for the chicken. And now we are going to plant maize here. So as you can see the remnants of green collards. I don't know whether these two ones are fighting or they are playing. You see this multicolored one, the last born on the farm. It tries to mount on the darling. The one they are fighting with is a female kid. I told you that bucklings can become erratic even as early as 2 months old, and they can impregnate a goat even as early as 3 months. Yes, that's a fun fact. A 3 months old buckling can actually impregnate a goat. So that's why when you are doing breeding, or generally if you are a smallholder farmer, you are advised to sell off the bucks in the farm so that you only remain with one breeding buck. Because if you don't do that, you are going to deal with inbreeding, because the goats will be serving their sisters, their mothers, others will be serving their daughters. So you make sure that you only have one buck in the farm that serves the goat. For example, the buck that serves the mothers of this goat cannot serve this goat. Yes, so this goat will need to have another buck to serve them. So out of the 6 kids, 2 are darlings, 2 are female, and 4 are bucklings. So the 2 darlings in the farm cannot be served by these bucklings when they become of age, because that will result to inbreeding. So equally, the goat that served their mothers also cannot serve them. Okay? Also, these bucklings, even when they come of age, they cannot serve their mothers. Not that they cannot serve, they can serve. But if they do so, you are going to have inbreeding, and that is going to give you very poor quality goats. So they should not serve. Not that they cannot serve. They can serve, but they should not, to avoid inbreeding in the farm.